Hi, this is your stretching for your lower body after a workout, after running, or if simply you want to maintain flexibility of your lower body with some kind of simple daily practice. We go through the biggest muscles of our lower body. Okay, we start from downward facing dog so that we can elongate the spine a little bit over there. Starting from here, first lengthen your spine and start bending one knee at a time. We mostly do passive stretches this time, but let's just start with a little bit more dynamic. If you feel like you're not warmed up enough, you can first warm up or simply do the stretches with your range of movement that works for you right now. Always respecting your body, dropping your knees down just to cross your legs. And first we're gonna come to a forward fold, but we're gonna bring our legs mat width apart, making sure your sitting bones are rounded so that you can lengthen your spine. If you can't lengthen your spine, bend your knees as much that you can. Lengthen up here to fold forward. You can grab from the outside of your shins, ankles, feet. Lengthen first here to fold forward, and we're just going to relax here for a few breaths. You can really grab from the feet to see if you can pull the top of your head a little bit closer towards your feet, while at the same time keeping your shoulders away from ears. From here, inhale your upper body up, bending your right knee, opening the knee to the side, bringing the sole of the foot to the left leg. Inhale here and folding forward over here. So now you should feel the stretch at the back side of your left leg, maybe also on your right glute, right hip. Relaxing here. Inhaling upper body up. Inhale right arm up. This time we are turning our hips facing more towards the right knee so that you can open your right side over here. Breathing to the sensation where you feel the stretch. And we release. Over here, bring your right knee up simply so that you can do now stretch to the right quads by bending right leg, heel towards your glute. If it doesn't feel good for you, you can see if it works better if you open it more to side, but normally it's easier the closer you bring it towards your glutes. Ideally over here, and first we start simply by lifting, opening our hips forward. Maybe you feel the stretch already here, or you can lower back to your elbows, or even all the way to floor if it feels good for you. Focusing on stretching, opening the right quad over here, maybe a little bit the hip flexor as well. If you still don't feel the stretch, really focus on opening or like pushing the hips high instead of letting them drop, so glutes are activated so that you can relax the front of the foot or of the leg. And slowly start bringing yourself back to seated. Keep the legs as they are. Inhale here. Exhale, fold forward towards the left leg. Inhale back to center. And now bringing our right leg back as it was. So bend to the side, bend left leg as well. So now your left leg is at 90 degrees, right leg is a bit closer to you. Inhale here to fold forward here to feel the stretch on your glutes, maybe a bit more now on the left side, or maybe even on both sides. And slowly come back to center. Bring your feet together to the front. Inhale here, fold forward and rising back to center. Open your legs mat width apart, bending the left leg and dropping the knee to the side. Inhale over here to exhale, fold forward. With your next inhale, we bring the left hand up while keeping right hand to right foot to open the side, left side over here. Reach the fingertips forward and up. Constantly focusing on the area that is stretched. Exhale, release, going one more time, a little bit more to the center. And coming back up. From here, bending your left leg so that you can bring your heel towards your glute to find the quad stretch over here, bringing hips forward, finding the variation that works over here. Constantly letting the breath flow instead of holding your breath. That helps you to relax the muscles. If you feel like you cannot breathe, then you're too deep in the posture and you should come a little bit easier variation. Slowly start coming back up. Inhale over here to fold forward over the right leg. Inhale back to center, bending the left leg as it was earlier by bringing the sole of the foot close to right foot. Now bending also the right leg 90 degrees. Lengthen here to fold forward. Focusing on opening the hips, releasing any tension of your right hip with every exhale. Inhale back to center. Now we face to the long side of the yoga mat, if you have a yoga mat with you. And we open our legs as wide as you can. From here, try to make sure your spine is lengthened. If it starts to round, then keep your hands behind your back and just stay here at the uplifted position. If this feels okay for you, you can start folding forward, bringing elbows down, lengthening, lowering, reaching forward. Constantly focusing on bringing your lower belly forward. But if your back rounds, then rather remain here upright. Feeling the stretch on the inner thighs, trying to let go of any tension there with the exhale. Really use the breath as your tool to relax in the breath and getting deeper to the posture. That way you can really start using the breath for you instead of against you. Inhale back to center. Facing now the right leg, fold forward towards the right. You can reach with your left hand to the outside of right foot. Coming back to center. Facing the left leg, inhale and exhale, fold. Option to grab from the outside of the shin foot with the right hand. Coming back to center, we'll do one more stretch, which is a bit more uncommon, but gluteus medius is hard to stretch without this one. So we start by coming to all fours, From here you can bring your left knee to the center, cross your right leg across your foot. So now both of your knees are in the same line. See if you can open your heels a little bit more to the side, and from here we start dropping our hips back. Now your right knee should lift off the ground while your hips, maybe they come all the way back, maybe you're somewhere here by bringing your hips closer, but if you're able to sit here, just come upright over here. If you still don't feel the stretch, then you can open your heels more towards the sides. Try to keep your knees on same line, so right knee is above the left. If you still need more, lengthen here and fold forward over here. Few more conscious breaths. See if you're holding tension somewhere where it's not needed, like your eyebrows, shoulders, or around the hip area. Coming upright from there, simply start traveling forward, come back to all fours, unravel the feet. Bringing right knee to center, left leg crosses, opening feet, so that you can bring your hips back. You can see differences on different sides, but try to do the same variation always for both sides. Option to open, heels more to the side. Try to keep the knees together. Inhale here, and optional forward fold. Letting go of tension with exhale. Oxygenating your body with inhale. Few more breaths. Once again, check in with yourself if there's some tension that you don't need to hold on to. And inhale, come back to center. Folding or reaching forward so you can come to all fours and undo the feet. From here we just do a little bit of dynamic movement from child's pose towards cobra. So you bring your hips forward and down. So we bring space to the hip flexors and we come back, hips towards the heels and forward again. Just a little bit dynamic movement before we add a stretch to the hip flexors. One more time, forward and back. And now we're going to step our right foot forward. You can choose if it's better for you now to keep it between your hands, or if you want, you can also walk the foot a little bit more outside, bringing both hands on the same side. You can feel the stretch in a little bit different part. But in both movements, make sure your knee is above your ankle of the right foot. And here with every inhale, you can focus on lengthening, and with every exhale, try to find more release to your hips, feeling the stretch on your left hip flexor and letting your hips lower, coming a little bit lower every time. If you're here that your hands are on both sides, try not to let the knee drop to the side. Whereas if you're over here, then, well, actually try to keep the same way instead of dropping the knee to side. Whichever way you are, we do one more nerve flossing over here, simply by lifting our left heel towards your glute as high as it rises and dropping down. So this is nerve flossing for the femoral nerve, which can feel tense after many things, even from office work, but also from a workout. And now you can combine it with your moving with your head. So when you bring the heel up, you bring your chin to chest. When you bring the leg down, you look upwards. So this is called nerve lossing. It's like we're just pushing and pulling the nerve. So we don't do the opposite directions, but do the same direction so the nerve can nicely glide over there instead of squeezing. Great, and release. We step right foot back and left leg forward. Inhale here, exhale, drop the hips down, finding the stretch to the right hip flexor. See with every exhale if you can come a little bit lower, keeping the left knee above the left ankle. Let's add the movement with the femoral nerve. First only with the heel, up and down. You shouldn't feel too much stretch or tension. If it feels really uncomfortable, just do smaller range of movement. And you can start adding the head, chin to chest, and upwards, gliding the nerve. And one more time. Release. We have one more body part to focus on, which is the lower parts of the legs. Coming over here to a calf stretch. So from here, extend your left leg so that you can feel the stretch over there at your left calf, maybe Achilles as well. And switch the side, stretching the right one. Now, bringing your knees down, curling toes under, and we start bringing weight behind so that we stretch the fascia of our feet behind your feet. If this feels very uncomfortable, you can lean more forward. If it feels good, you can completely release your hands to find the stretch on your feet. Breathing here. Release. We have 2 more stretches to go. So first, bring your feet down. We stretch both of our Achilles at the same time. Bring your feet hip width apart. Start bending your knees forward until you feel stretch on your calves. Don't let your heels rise. Keep them down. Maybe here is enough. If it feels good, you can keep on lowering your hips down while reaching your hands forward. Unraveling here. We want to sit back, so find your way to a seated position, and we stretch here the top of our feet by bringing toes under and stretching over here. Maybe this is enough. If you want more, simply bring some weights to your hands, lifting your hips high and feeling the stretch here. You can go a bit back and forth. But if it's the first time doing the stretch, it's more than enough staying down here as well, as long as you feel the stretch at the right place. It's very important to keep the full range of movement on our feet, as that's where all the movement starts, and normally many issues we might have on knees, lower back, hips might actually root from the feet, so that's why I want to also give you these movements. Release, then shake your legs a little bit, just tapping your feet to the ground gently. And from there, roll your feet a little bit. See if your body still needs to drop tension from somewhere from the legs. If it feels good, we have come to the end of this practice of opening our lower body biggest muscles. Thank you for joining, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.